go. Thank you so much. All right. Awesome. Let's go back to that. Okie dokes. All right. I think we're good to go. Yeah, so we've been in the game for a really long time, and we love helping. Specifically, we love helping parents, but we'll help you if you've got any energy, mood, or gut issues. We love helping you with performance and getting better, and healing your burnout. We're on a mission to end burnout for good. There's so many reasons why people might be feeling burnt out. Pretty soon, we're going to go over how you guys are feeling, and I'm going to get a little bit of interaction, trying to find out more about you. We were lucky and very privileged to be the 2022 Telstra Best of Business Awards finalists for Australia, and we won the Tasmanian category of Accelerating Women. We were very, very proud of that, and Philippa and I were ATMS Natural Medicine Awards Clinic of the Year finalists. Our goal today is to go over a couple of energy boosting techniques and to have an interview with Dr. Daniel Kalish, and to go over some lab reviews. And just due to a couple of timing things that happen, Dr. Kalish and Philippa have actually already had their interview. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to put the recording live on our, sorry, not live. We'll put the recording of that interview on our website. That'll go up in the next hour. But I'm just wondering, guys, can I have your permission? Can I have your permission to just be here right now with me? You might not be standing here on this beach with me or sitting here with me, and you might be just there in your room or wherever you are. And I'm just wondering if you can give me permission to ask you some questions and to go over some of these techniques and to give you some tools that can help you out. And also if you can give yourself permission to just receive that, to receive this knowledge, this information, and to give yourself permission to enjoy this experience. And if you're good with that, give us a thumbs up. Where possible, pop your screens on, guys, so I can see your lovely faces. And just interruptions are important. Thank you so much for letting me know my microphone wasn't on and for letting me know about the recording. Interruptions like that are really important. But what's really cool is if you guys kept the chat room busy, and in the chat box, just kind of pass notes between each other, just like you were in school. Keep that chat room busy. Why are we here today? Why are we here? I want to find out, guys, in the chat box, are you struggling with fatigue? Are you struggling with fatigue? Leave us a comment in the chat box. Let us know why you're here today and what do you want to know. Let's just take a moment to have a chat in the chat box and tell me, are you struggling with fatigue? Why are you here today? And what do you want to know? Shane says he wants to improve. Awesome. What would you like specifically to improve on, or just in general, would you like to improve? Feel free to pop some comments in, guys. I'll be using the chat box as a tool. Stop procrastination. Always feel tired, even with a good amount of sleep. Let's bring that up. Cool. Fantastic. All right. Less procrastination, wake up feeling refreshed and not tired on a daily basis. Always feel tired, says Jessica, even with a good amount of sleep. So looking to learn more about feeling energized. Cool. All right. Philly and I love helping people with energy, mood, and gut issues. That's our jam. And you think Shane is a she? Oh, I am so sorry. So energy, mood, and gut issues. Extended knowledge as a naturopath. Awesome. Beautiful. So we love helping people with energy issues, mood issues, gut issues. Not on that slide, but we also love helping people with hormonal issues, skin issues, my specific things that I'm good at. Grabbing bits of paper that fly away. And I love helping people to gain focus in their life and be more productive in their life and to do the things that they really want to do so that they can have the things they really want to have. What's fatigue costing you? Leave a comment in the chat box. Let us know what's the real cost here. Let's just say, envision this for a second. Imagine if the way you feel today is the way you're going to feel for the rest of your life. What are some of the costs of that? What's going to be the upside or the downside of that? Is today a good day? Is today not so much of a good day? What's going to be the cost? Leave a comment in the chat box. Let us know. Like, what's it really costing you? What's on the other side of the ledger? Like, why really, if it's not costing you anything, if it's not actually an issue, why worry about it? Why care? Janine says, getting my business up running successfully so I can have an income since leaving nursing. Yeah. That would be a massive cost right there. I think sometimes when we don't look at the elephant in the room, we ignore these things. It makes healing harder. We can suppress it. We can ignore the way we're feeling. And we just force ourselves to keep going, to keep pushing through. It's pretty common. You know, I read books and see things. 10x your life. Just work harder. I just recently read the book Animal Farm with my 10-year-old daughter. It was a massive talking point for our family. And oh man, I've forgotten his name now. The horse would just say to the rest of the farm, "It's okay. I'll just work harder." And he had this mentality to just work harder, just keep going. And in the end, the horse died. Boxer was his name. So, you know, are we going to be like Boxer and just work harder, just keep going? And in the end, we'll lose everything that we want and love. What's it costing you in your work, in your business? What's it costing you in your family? What's it costing you in your relationships and in your life? Our Anybody burnout solution is aimed at identifying and treating body system imbalances that cause or perpetuate emotional eating issues, energy issues. And we like to get to the root cause, right in there, right down to the root, not just to look at the symptoms, but we like to get right down into the root and give you support and guidance and motivation, all the stuff that you need to equip you with the resources so that you can have the capacity to meet the demands of the challenges in your life. We want you to have a healthy, vibrant body. We want you to be more productive and more deeply connected with your family. So what's the way we're going to do that? I'm just going to have a look at these slides. Let's go like that. Okay, questions. I've got some questions for you. My first question is, what have you tried so far? Where are you guys at with your energy? What have you tried in order to get more energy in your life? What have you tried to do or to implement? Or who have you tried to become? What archetype have you tried to embody or become? What have you tried getting, Nadine? Improving your diet. I like what you just said before as well. I'm just reading that. If I envisage the rest of my life being like this, then it does not augur well. I therefore need to focus on getting some direction and removing the fatigue I feel. Cool. And so you improved your diet. Cool. Yasmin, regular sleep time and wake up time. I love it. And Nadine and Yasmin, how is that going for you? Do you feel like improving your diet, Nadine, and getting regular sleep time and wake time has helped? Or do you feel like there's still a gap? There's still something that just you haven't got there yet? Other questions that we have are, well, why are you feeling like this? Why is this happening? What's the reason this is occurring? How come you actually feel the way you feel? We have a little thing a little tool, a little resource that we love getting people to do. Some of you might have already done this. This is called the Ending Body Burnout Assessment. And the Ending Body Burnout Assessment, you can punch that into your browser and go visit our website. It's chrisandphilly.fm/scorecard. And the Ending Body Burnout Assessment is a way that you can see how your burnout might be playing out in different areas of your life. It can give you a score of how burned out you are, and it can be a prescriptive as well as a bit of a resource for like an eye-opening experience for you as well. I think that's the first step. So therefore, everybody, that's resource number one. How can I increase my energy? It's to answer the question, why? Why don't I have energy? Why don't I feel the way I want to feel? Why do I feel fatigue? First step, well, let's get some answers. Let's do some digging, hey? Let's grab that shovel or keyboard and do some answering of some questions. Another thing that I want to do is show you is that showing up? Nope, that's not showing up. Let's share my screen again. Here's a little quadrant that I like sharing with people. It's 4 quadrants. A lot of times we will be so focused on doing the things we need to do in order to get the things we want to get. And we push, go, try, and we do all those things. And we can find ourselves forcing ourselves to push and go. And we find ourselves just unhappy, either with our levels of fatigue or our energy levels or even our health. We might even feel like the things we're doing isn't really helping us to be happy. So force is when we're doing and focus on getting stuff done, but not really finding ourselves either in a happy place or a happy state. Floundering is when we just have lost either the ability to do the things we need to do, or we've lost the desire to do the things we need to do in order to be healthy and happy and have the lifestyle that we want. And so floundering is a mix of not really happy and not really moving forwards. Fantasyland it's where you're focused on being happy and you're focused on being the type of person that you want to be. And it's fantasy land is where you're more focused on the feel good stuff rather than the actual doing things that get you where you want to get to. It's probably more focused on self-happiness and self-love and less on productivity. It just is kind of imbalanced in that way that you're not quite self-loving and being self-productive. But flow, on the other hand, is when you're able to do the things you need to do in order to get what you want to get, but you're also being happy. Life is just good for you, and you feel like you can honestly say, I love life. I love doing what I'm doing. I love my family. I love my career. I love myself. And when you're in flow, when you're really content, when you're really connected with who you want to be and what you want to do, when you're really in flow, you find your spark and you have an energy to keep moving forwards because it's easy, it's enjoyable, it's exciting, and you can really feel it. I'm curious, guys, where do you feel you are? Do you feel like you're in flow? Maybe in fantasy and not quite made it across to flow yet? Do you feel like you're floundering? Or do you feel like you're living in force? Leave a comment in the chat box. Let us know. Cool. Bernadette says flounder. Mia says flounder. Yes, Min. Fantasy, flounder, and force. Mix of all three. Yeah. It's kind of like depending on the day, depending on the hour, depending on the person, the environment, all those things. Flounder, a bit in limbo at the moment. Flounder. Will there be slides or recording, Jules? Yes, there will be. Yes, there will be. Absolutely. And just to answer that question, it'll be in exactly the same place that you clicked on the link to come into this call today. So the recording will be up there. And you feel like you're in flounder or fantasy. Cool, no problems. To find your spark, you've got to get you guys into flow. The best way to get into flow is this is kind of for the people who feel like you're living in fantasy. And I've just noticed the breeze has just kicked up. Hopefully, is my audio still okay? Like, can you guys hear me okay? Hopefully it's not too windy. Cool, awesome. All right, so to get from force, let's talk about force. When you focus on doing, and you're in a state of dissatisfaction or unhappiness or frustration, the best way to find your spark and to actually move into flow is to ask yourself one question. You ready? This is tip number 2. We've had tip number 1 was do the ending body burnout assessment. Step number 2, if you're in force, is to ask yourself this question at the end of every day. Did I smile? Did I do something that made me smile? Smile, smile, smile. Do things that make you happy. Sometimes you're going to have to do your work in a different location. Like this, come to the beach and you get to talk to you wonderful people and have fun while you're doing things. Emotional maturity is the most important part of life. Yeah, that sounds like a value that you've picked up there, definitely. To get into flow, smile, be happy, find things that you enjoy. And it might be something simple. It might be something simple that just lights you up, like a new pen, a new notebook, a new plant. Find something to light you up and to make you happy while you're doing those things. And if you can find a way to be happy while you're doing the things, ta-da, guess what? You made your way into flow. Congratulations. Nice work. If you feel like you're floundering and you're not happy, you're frustrated, you're anxious that you're not doing the things you need to do, if you're frustrated and maybe even depressed because you feel shame and guilt on choices that you've made in the past, if you feel like you're in flounder like that, the most important thing that you can do is to move forwards doing easy things first. Doing the first thing first is important, but just trying to find that one little bit of progress, that one little itty bitty teeny weeny, small, seemingly insignificant step forwards that's going to be progress. It might not be perfect, it might not be the best, but just that tiny little bit can help you to move from flounder into flow. But you have to run it through the sieve, run it through the tester, that it's got to be enjoyable. If it's not enjoyable, then it's not the right thing. And we're talking about burnout here. You can force yourself to do things that are unenjoyable, but that leaves you burnt out, frustrated, and annoyed down the line. You've got to find a way back to enjoyment and ease. If you feel like you're in fantasy land and you're not making progress, but you're focusing on self-care and self-love and you're doing all those things that really light you up inside, the first step for you is to it's similar, make progress. Just find that one little thing. Break your stuff, break your tasks and your projects up into little tiny chunks and make imperfect progress. And that's not all the tips, but they're just a few tips to be able to help move you out. The next thing I want to talk about is a real practical example of how you can get energy. Tony Robbins has a really cool way of saying this. He says, the fastest way to change your state is to shift your physiology. I don't know. Have you guys heard that? Thumbs up if you've heard him say that or heard that said. Fastest way to change your state is to change your physiology. Sometimes your physiology might be cooked. It might be burned out. Things might not be working in the way that they should. Sometimes you might have a body system dysfunction that's stopping your physiology from functioning the way it should. And so therefore you've lost your spark. Question, what was that question? Chris, is this a model you've constructed? In which case, what would you call the model, or is this based on formally established theories? Cool question. When you say the model that I've created, are you talking about the force, flow, flounder, and fantasy? If you're talking about that one, it's based off a friend of mine and my mentor, Kylie Ryan. She has a very similar one that she uses different words, and it's for a slightly different purpose. So mostly it's based on her ideology, her intellectual property, but that's pretty much mine and Philly's. Cool. I call it the F model or the flow model. You can choose, but I don't really have a name for it. But to find your spot, you've got to do certain things depending on where you find yourself at that particular moment. And I think that's a big thing. A lot of people will ignore the elephant in the room, and they will not focus on, or they will not choose to acknowledge that something is happening in their life. And I love that you guys now have just said, I'm in fantasy, or I'm floundering, or I'm in force. Heck, you might be in flow. That's cool. That's acknowledging where you're at. And as soon as you acknowledge that, you can choose to accept that. And it's only at that point that you can make conscious and intentional progress forwards. All right. The next thing that we get you to do is something practical to shift your physiology. To shift your physiology, all organisms and all organizations need energy to grow and to live, to evolve, to change, don't they? We all need energy. And what you focus on, or what you focus on, what you notice feeds you. What you notice and what you focus on feeds you and gives you energy. You can bring energy into your life to what you focus on. So if you're focusing constantly on things that bring you displeasure, dissatisfaction, frustration, annoyance, then you're going to feed those things. They're going to grow in your life. So the next helpful tip is to focus on things that make you happy. Think and focus on positive things. Think and focus on things that are actually going to light you up inside. And oh my goodness, that it just sounds so simple, doesn't it? So simple. Focus on things that light you up. And just think about it. How many things are you focusing on in your life that they just don't light you up? You don't feel a spark when you think of those things, when you do those things. So next tip, what are we up to? 4, 5? Next tip is to focus on things that really light you up inside, that give you a spark. And now to shift our physiology, there's two ways that I would like to go over today that really help you to shift your physiology into a feel-good state. And the first thing that I want to do is talk about your posture. And I don't know, I can't tell from looking at the screen. Pretty sure no one's got their camera on. But is everyone sitting down? Is everyone sitting down? If so, let's get everybody up. I can't see you, so I'm just going to kind of go by hoping that you guys are standing up. But standing up rather than sitting down, a lot of us are crunched and hunched in our postures. We live in a Zoom culture at the moment where not everybody, where a lot of us are sitting at our tables, sitting at a computer desk. We're in a kyphotic posture, upper back's hunched. And think about what happens when you're in that kyphotic. Kyphotic means upper back rounded or spine curvature. If you're in a kyphotic or upper back curved posture, you shorten your abdominal muscles, you contract the rib cage, you reduce the amount of space your lungs have, your diaphragm is squeezed, and you can't breathe deeply. So feel free to do this where you are. Crunch and hunch, like you're kind of like a, what's that guy on the Addams Family? Is it Igor? I don't know. Anyway, you're like that, and you're just hunching, chin down, and then just try and take, hopefully no one if you feel any pain or pinching when you're doing this, you've gone a bit too far. But you hunch over, chin to chest, pull your rib cage down, crunch in, and look down at your feet and take a big, deep breath and just quantify how deep you can get, how much oxygen you can get into you. Conversely, hands on hips, chest is out, chin is up, elevated, looking over the horizon. And you just compare the feeling of filling and how much oxygen you can get into you, how much air you can get into you when you're standing up with a big tall posture, chins up, elevated, necks nice and long, chest out, hands on hips, feet hip width apart, breathing fully into your belly and into your chest. You're going to get way more air, way more energy is going to be in your system based on your new posture. That's the next tip. Change your posture, shift your posture. How much? As much as you possibly can. If you really want to find your spark and you want to get that back, you want to change your posture regularly. Sit down, stand up desks are fantastic. Go from sitting to standing. Finding a workplace where you can work outdoors is fantastic. You can be able to, if you could change your environment in just some way, you can change your physiology. So we've talked about changing your mind and your body and your environment as ways that you can get more energy, find your spark. Posture is a big one. Another one, kind of related to that one, breathwork. To find more energy, or to find your spark, or to have your spark, to get your spark back, breathing is a really good way to get your energy back. It's and these things you notice I haven't talked about supplements yet, and that's super intentional, because I know that these things that I've mentioned are things that every single person on this call can implement safely without us doing any assessments on you at all. As long as it doesn't contraindicate any advice that you've been given by a medical practitioner. Throw that one in there. Breath work. 3 types of breathing. The first breath work method is simply circle breathing. Circle breathing is where you breathe in, breathe out, evenly and smoothly without having any retention. And so I'd like to challenge you guys to do 3 circle breaths with me now, and we'll see how you feel. So a circle breath is where you breathe in for 2 seconds, breathe out for 2 seconds. Breathe in for 2 seconds, breathe out for 2 seconds. So let's go for that. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Good job. 3 simple breaths. Doing circle breathing is a really cool way of boosting your energy and changing your state. I recommend circle breathing when you're about to do something challenging, when you need a bit more quick oxygen in your system. A big deep breath in and a big deep breath out without any retention. If you have too many of those circle breaths, you might start to feel lightheaded, which is normal. But if you can just take a few, I say a few, I just keep it kind of vague. So 3 to 5, and you can get a state change in just as many as 3 to 5 circle breaths for 2 seconds in, 2 seconds out, just like what we did there. All right, let's talk about the next type of breathing is triangle breathing. Triangle breathing is where you breathe in, breathe out, and retention. So triangle, breathe in for 2 seconds, breathe out for 2 seconds, 2 seconds of retention. All right, let's do 3 triangle breaths. Hopefully you guys are doing this with me. Let's go. Breathe in, breathe out, hold. Breathe in, out, hold. In, out, hold. Good job. Triangle breathing is a really great way of breathing when you need to calm down, where you need to just bring your attention to yourself and to your breath, rather than focusing on the challenges that you might be experiencing in your life. If you feel like you're floundering and you want to make some next steps action, some easy steps, if you want to find something enjoyable, if you want to find more peace and clarity, some triangle breathing brings your focus within yourself, helps you find your spark. Triangle breathing is really good because it's kind of awkward as well. In, out, hold. It's not intuitive as well. So you concentrate a little bit more. And I think that's the beauty of it. So it can bring your focus to the breath. Let's talk about box breathing. Box breathing is similar to triangle. It's where you breathe in, hold, out, hold, in, hold, out, hold. So we'll do 3 box breaths together as well. All right, so we're going to breathe in, hold, out, hold. All right, breathing in, hold, out, hold, in, hold, out, hold, in, hold, out, hold. Good job. Box breathing. So there's another tip for when you're feeling like you don't have the energy you need to do the things that you want to do, or to find that spark inside of you, so that you can be happy when you're doing things, so you can have joy. Box breathing is fantastic when you just need to calm down and focus on the situation that you're in right now. All right, so those are some really practical tips that you might have to help you boost your energy. There's a lot of other things we can do to help you out that aren't lifestyle related, that might be related more to fixing your body systems. The fastest way to change your state is to fix your physiology. It's to change your physiology, not fix, change your physiology. So if you feel like you might have something not quite right in your physiology, well, we would love to invite you to have a chat with us and to have a chat with us, so we can find out if what we do is going to help you out. We want to find out if we're a good fit. We want to help you to get clear on where you're at now, and to help give you some breakthroughs so that you can connect how you're feeling with what you're doing in your life. And maybe it might not be anything to do with what you're doing. Maybe it might be. Maybe it might be about how your body systems are functioning. So if you've got your phone, if you're on your phone, this might not work. You can go to chrisandphilly.fm/schedule. It'll be in we'll send you an email and you'll get this. But you can use your phone and you can scan that, and you can book in for a discovery call, and we can have a chat and just see if there's anything we can do that might help you out. I'll leave that one up there, but for a second, and hopefully everyone's got that. So let's see if that worked. Cool. All right, so that's pretty much it for us, guys. Philly and I are really excited to be able to help out as I said, with energy, mood, gut issues. And if you feel like what we've been talking about today might directly help you, we'd love to find out about it. We'd love to know. We have another place that you can come to find more information, more education, more knowledge and support, and that's our Power Parent Society on Facebook. And I'm just sharing my screen now with you guys so you can see that. Hopefully that pops up in a second. There it is. So the Power Parent Society, if you scan that, you can go straight to our free Facebook group, or you can go to chrisandphilly.fm/Facebook, and that'll take you to our Power Parent Society Facebook page. But the link to that will be also in our emails, and we'll be sending those. We'll send you a follow-up email to this webinar after our call today. But as we mentioned at the start, the Dr. Kalish, unfortunately, we had a little mix-up with the times, or just a what's it called? Yeah, that'll do. We'll roll with that. And so Philippa and Dr. Kalish, Julia, have had their interview already. And so we've got the recording. That'll go up within the next hour after our call today. So stay tuned for an email. That email will be coming around very soon. I hope we've helped. Guys, I'm going to stick around for about 5-10 minutes. If you guys have any questions, or you'd like to know a little bit more, or a little bit more clarification, stick around. Let's have a chat. Other than that, thank you so much. I really appreciate you jumping on today. It's been nice to catch up with you. I'm going to stop our recording and stick around and ask me some questions.